whatever.
How do we rate how fast this applies? Well, the orifice size on the side tap of the Venturi will regulate the flow rate that's going through the tank itself. And if we know what the pressure is and we know how big the hole is, we know what the flow is that's coming out through it. But what's the mix ratio?
Yeah, I was about to say, how much
That's the real problem.
water?
You know, you start here with a real high concentration of chemical. As you move more water through it, you're diluting the chemical continuously as it's being applied. Well, that doesn't cut mustard too well, does it? That works all right for if we're watering a home lawn and we want to run a fertilizer tablet. Might work okay. Where we're just running it across a tablet for 10 minutes, it's going to dissolve so much of it. It's going to be a very confined space. We know all the liquid's getting pushed right through. But if we have a 500-gallon tank, we're starting to get more diluted, and we've lost control of what we're really trying to accomplish. So what we want to do is keep the sizes small enough so that we can effectively move all that material through it in a relative short period of time and be done with the application. So it would work, and it would work fine on a drip system. It would work fine on solid set blocks or turf blocks. Hand line or wheel line, we could use it because we set those up like a hand line or wheel line. We'll set it and run it for 12 hours. Well, this system would work all right. We could run the chemical. It might take an hour to run it all out and then shut it off and let it water the rest of its cycle. A drip system might run for 12 or 24 hours. Well, we got plenty of time to run through a cycle. But if we're out here on a golf course and want to run an individual head for 5 minutes, this probably isn't going to get the job done, because that head, the 5 minutes at the beginning of the cycle, is going to have a far different concentration of chemical than the head 5 minutes at the end of the cycle, because this tank keeps diluting as we go. So we have a little problem here with certain types of systems. Center pivot, this is not going to work very well on a center pivot, because here we're running continuous move, and early on in the application we get a lot of chemical on the ground, and by the end of the application we're getting very little over here in another part of the field. So see, it really is not going to be a very effective system. But I tell you what, it's nice is you don't need any power or any added outside supply. You just hook this right in anywhere, anytime, and it'll work. Yes?
They make them like in
big sizes. You can get them in big sizes, yes.
Then when you're not using the chemical anymore, can you just use it as normal water flow? You have to, when you put it in line, when you're done with it, when you're not applying chemical at all, you just leave it there and use it.
Yeah, what they'll do is they'll bypass it.
Oh, okay.
So that you don't have that huge friction drop through the system. So you'd have a bypass loop, or actually this would be in a bypass loop. Main line would be coming through here with a valve right in the middle. So in this system we'd actually have this looped into a, you know, it's going to come down like this into a main line, and in here there's going to be a main line valve, so that we can put this in a bypass function, and then we just valve off both sides of this. And then whenever we want to fertilize or chemigate, we close this valve and open these two valves. Then we simply force it through the Venturi. When we just want to do straight irrigation, we close these two valves back off, open this one, and we're just straight lining the water. So it's only during the application of chemical that we're going to have that drop in pressure. And that's a pretty common technique used in a lot of areas where you have remote operations, where you don't have power available. Where we have power available, we're going to find we got some other option here that works a lot better.